Hey, Bag.
Hi there. So what are we looking at today? Is this River Raid 2?
Yes, this is River Raid 2 for the Atari 2600, ported to the Game Boy Advance. But it may look a little different than how you remember it.
Yeah.
For one, it's now a side-scrolling beat-em-up rather than a top-down shooter.
And there's no river.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
that's later in the game. They build up to it, really.
Fair enough.
No, this is River City Ransom for the Game Boy Advance. River City Ransom EX, rather. The remake of the classic NES Famicom game. And I love this game. This is one of my favorite games, not just on the Game Boy Advance, of all time. And that's why I'm showing it here today, because I like it. That's that.
So I have to call something out here now. You say this game looks really good,
It is really good.
but not to rain on your Thug Beaten Parade, but I'm sorry, this is clearly a rip-off of one of the hottest NES games to come out in Europe, Street Gans.
Now wait there, Bag. The story here is
No. Like, look at it. It's like really similar looking sprites. You're both in a street. You're beating people up, but the title's different.
No, but the thing of it is
What's
that...
more likely, that this is just a weird localization name, or that someone stole a classic European Nintendo Entertainment System game and cloned it for Japan and America, and then released it years later as an enhanced port on the Game Boy Advance?
You had it right the first time.
Take your word for it.
So River City Ransom, for those who don't know, and also Street Gangs, if you happen to live in the PAL territories,
My pals from PAL.
or pals from Palland, part of the Kunio-kun franchise, which was gave birth to the characters of Kunio-kun and Ricky, who became Alex and Ryan here in the States. What were their names in Street Gangs, out of curiosity?
I think the only difference is like the cover.
Okay, fair enough.
Honestly. I guess River City Ransom is probably some like British cop show.
And they didn't want to violate that copyright, or what have you.
Yeah, just some guy driving around in a mini going up to like kids in the street going, "Oi, Clive Poker, put that cigarette out." That's pretty much all the cop shows here.
That would have made for a very different game.
Yeah. So tell me about this. What's going on?
So this is River City Ransom, but with a twist. And that twist is that it's very customizable, which makes it awesome. You can tweak like every value in the game. You can tweak the gravity, the speed the game plays at.
Can put that cone in front of all the text?
Yeah, you can customize it so the cone blocks the text and makes it hard to make out. So it's whatever customizations you want to make.
I'm being mean, I'm sorry.
They took an already great game, which already had like a lot of like cool RPG elements in it for a beat 'em up, and they just found ways to improve it for the Game Boy Advance because it was something like 15 years later. So you better hope they're making some improvements to it. The one thing they didn't do is really make the game any longer. I mean, it is screen-for-screen remake of the original game. But what they did was they added some mechanics, they expanded on some of the previous ones, they found ways to flesh it out. It still only takes about 2 or 3 hours for a single playthrough, but it makes up for it in the replay value.
Yeah. It's weird seeing this because I've totally played up to this section.
Yeah, if you've played the NES game, this all probably seems pretty familiar in a weird way, but there are ways you can mix it up, and I think I'm going to show one right around here. So there's an item in the game which lets you create your own custom character, which is pretty neat. You get to use basically every asset from every other character in the game. You can use any combination of different faces and hairstyles, and there's lots of them. There's a hell of a lot of them here. It's limited in that all the school uniforms are all going to look the same as one another, and also there's no like feminine options. There's no way to make like a lady character or what have you, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to have beaten the shit out of some dudes as a lady character.
You're supposed to be bunchos, man.
Delinquents, you mean? Is that the translation
Yeah,
of
but
that?
that's the male ones. The female one's a sukiba.
Gotcha. That's why I brought you along, our Japanese expert, Bag.
Yeah, clearly.
Expert of many
Oh,
things.
Japanese delinquent expert.
It's very specifically. The rest of the country
Yeah.
you don't know shit about, but you got that section of society on lock.
Got it down, yeah.
So you can pick who's going to represent Alex and Ryan in the game, so I'm picking myself to play the role of Alex in this playthrough. That's me. That's me, everybody, in case you ever wondered what I looked like.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much nailing it. I'm actually surprised they stuck with the, what would you call the school uniforms in Japan?
They have a name.
I know they do, but anyway, so they stuck with those. You know, in River City Ransom and probably Street Gangs, they have more, urbanized.
It's the rolled up sleeves with the smokes. And cutoffs.
But here we are recruiting one of the zombies into our gang. Which, was this in the original? I don't think this was in the original. I don't think you could do this. I think it was just you had Alex and Ryan. But here you can have up to 3 gang members at all times following you around. But you have to meet this requirement. There's this hidden stat in the game called respect. And, you know, you lose respect if you punch people while they're talking, or if you, like, kick people while they're down.
Man, it's like Bushido play.
There's an easy way to boost your reputation, and that is by running into a wall over and over again. Every time you run into a wall, you get +1 reputation. So if you wanted to cheese the game that way, that's one way to do it. Or you could fight fair and, like, you know, implement combos.
That's respectful, you know?
You know, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by giving yourself severe concussions before a match. Really equaling the playing field.
I know, but you know you can't win fighting a wall, but it's respectful for trying, man.
So we're beating the shit out of some gamers here, which is very cathartic for me personally. I don't know about
Gamers
you.
rule!
That's how gamers talk. I mean, Million Corp really nailed it here. Nailed the dialogue this time around. Watch this boss fight go down. Whoopsies! That's one way to cheese that boss fight. That's an otherwise tough one, but we got through it. And here's what everyone came to see. Here's the scene that everyone comes to River City Ransom to see. And it's my naked ass taking a bath. Glad I could help.
Got some puckered up cheeks right there.
Please don't leak this video. Please don't spread this around. So if I had to quickly explain why this game is one of my favorites of all time, I'd say it's because of the customization, because of the options you have while playing it. I mean, if you want to, you can turn gravity up and make the basic attacks do the most damage and try and play it like a traditional beat-em-up, or you can just as easily do the total opposite and turn gravity all the way down, be bouncing off the walls, make techniques do more damage, and play it like that sort of game. And no matter how you modify it, the core mechanics are just really fun and solid, and the character progression is really satisfying. What more could you ask for in a beat-em-up? Also, name me another game where you can accidentally hit yourself in the head with a piece of wood and open yourself up to a one-hit KO.
What move was that?
That was an amazing technique right there. It's River City Ransom EX. It's a good game.
Well, thanks for showing me that, Hab. It's honestly, it's not as good as Riot Zone.
Ah, shit.
Sorry.